Good morning, Rotary Club of Centennial. Hey, good morning. I gotta be louder than that. Okay, is that better? Yeah. Everyone hear me? All right. Please silence your cell phones. Let me do that because I'm sure mine will be the one going off as I turn it up. Scott DeWitt, you have our pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Scott. Our inspiration, Vern.
Here I am. Dear God, we thank you for this upcoming Labor Day holiday. We thank you for this time when we can choose to get added rest or added fun or added time to catch up on necessary chores. Lord, this is also a great day for reflection. This is a day to thank you for the many gifts and talents that you have given us to serve you and to serve others, especially through our Rotary Club projects. You have, excuse me. You have equipped us, you have prepared us, and you will enable us to make great contributions to this world and to our community. We thank you for your heavenly guidance. We celebrate the revelation, motivation, and determination that will take us to the next step in our destiny. Bless our work, our club, and our careers. Enlarge our opportunities and enable us to be prosperous as we dedicate ourselves to giving our best to the work assignments you have given us. Amen.
Great, thank you, Vern. Thank you, Scott. Thank you also for everyone that has helped out with the setup, Randy Ernst. We do still need some help with the takedown, so if anyone can stay and help, we would greatly appreciate that. Greeter Diana Y., thank you so much. And then, of course, like I said, Vern and Scott, thank you so much for all of that. We do have a visiting Rotarian today, and of course, I will introduce him when he's taking a bite. So Leonard, would you go ahead and come up here? So this is Leonard, and it's Gretzky from Georgia, and he was kind enough to go ahead and give us a Roswell, Georgia flag. Yay. So thank you. And in return, of course, we'll give you a Rotary Club of Centennial flag. We welcome you, and if there's anything we can do to have you feel welcome in Colorado, please let us know.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, take care. Thank you. Do we have any other visiting Rotarians or guests that are not part of our speakers? No? Okay. I have a sparse with the birthdays and everything right now. So we have some wedding anniversaries. We, of course, have Paul and Bev Horiuchi, 53 years. Holy moly. She's been able to put up with you. That's awesome. I'm hoping Nana will be able to put up for me at least 1 year. We'll see how that goes next year. And then, of course, on September 1st, we have Deb and Mark Jessup celebrating 39 years. So congratulations to them. That's awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and start off with the member induction. This, of course, was supposed to be done last week, but since I was sick, we couldn't do that. So Rob, if you want to come up. Kent, I know that you had kind of sponsored him in, and Tripp, if you want to come up as membership director, see if I can coordinate this. All right. Yeah, perfect. All right. Fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today, I welcome to our ranks and admit to membership Rob Johnston. Rotarian Rob Johnston, you have been elected to membership in this club because your fellow members believe you to be a worthy representative of your calling and also to possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private life. I wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only to the Rotary Club of Centennial, but also to a worldwide association. And by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. You will be expected to attend the club's meetings regularly, to perform your share of club service, and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. I ask all members to rise. Rotarian Rob Johnston, in the name of the Rotary Club of Centennial, I now formally admit you to membership in this club. I won't say that. In this club, and affix to your lapel our emblem. Fellow Rotarians, I commend to you our newest member, Rotarian Rob Johnston. And I charge all of you to welcome him, and he is from the Evergreen Club. Would you like to say anything?
I just wanted to say thank you all. When I first came here, I just couldn't believe how friendly and open everyone is, and I really appreciate just that hospitality, and I look forward to serving the club.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We welcome you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, yeah. And don't forget, he gets his red badge and his membership. We'll give that to him.
They did forget.
Thank you. All right, you rowdy bunch. We have a lot going on today. So this weekend we have peach sales. Peach is coming in. Deb, do you have information on what time and all that good stuff?
Oh, yes. The truck will be here anywhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I would suggest people that have tents and or tables be here around 8, so that if they do come right at 8:30, we're ready for them. Saturday, yeah. Saturday, I know. This Saturday, sorry, for those of you who have been under a rock somewhere, it's this Saturday. And we ended up with 286 18-pound boxes and 275 10-pound. I only have a couple extras, but at this point, I just talked with Barb, and I think I'm going to order 5 more boxes of the 10-pound because they're the most popular. So please, please, please let me know, because we are only down to 2 boxes of 10s right now. If you have a folding chair, please bring it. If you have a dolly, please bring it, because those will be needed. I do have the tickets. They were delivered to me this morning. Depending on which one is which, if somebody's getting a 10-pound or an 18-pound box. So pickup is between 9:30 and 11:30 for people to come by. And I think that's it. So, yeah.
Are we branding our boxes again this year with the Rotary logo, Centennial Rotary logo?
I'm not.
Okay, I think that's how we got a new member last year. We probably have some left over.
Where?
Probably we got them from Tiff. So
Nobody's told me about that, so I don't know. I'm not aware of that right now.
All right, well, thank you so much, Deb, for that. So for those that may not have heard, or for anyone on listening to this, it's 9:30 to 11:30 for pickup. If you're going to be able to come early, be here at 8:30. I also know that we have some help from the Boy Scouts, so that's great. So that's that for peach sales, unless anyone has any other information on peaches? No. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, Madam President, I think that's a record for peach sales. I think we need to acknowledge the fact that they've done a great job this year.
I agree. Yeah, I was gonna see what our sales from last year were, because I don't know the comparison. 352 versus 400 or 500. See, we almost doubled it. Yes. Nice job. And then we will be giving the highest person that sold the highest, other than Deb and myself. Not that there's even any comparison between the two, but and a reward. So we will be doing that in the weeks to come. And then we have an underwear drive. Mark?
Yes, I'm just covering for Ken Hope and putting a reminder out to everybody. I want to thank people for bringing their underwear, not wearing it. Things are going well. We do have 3 more weeks to go. I don't think Ken has a cutoff date as of yet. If your schedule is very, very busy, we do accept a check, and what we'll do is we will go to Walmart or wherever and buy the necessary things. But we still have another 3 weeks to go on that.
Great.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Mark. And then we have an update from John and Mark for Water Rico.
Good morning. Good morning. Wow. So as you all know, Water Rico is a go. We've got 5 members of this club going to Puerto Rico: Ann West, Deb Jessup, David Livingston, Mark Garfinkel, and myself. And we're really grateful to have them, and we've got a lot of donations from the club for help in the travel expenses. So things are going well, and we're on our way. So September 7th we'll be leaving. We'll be most of us will be down there until the 16th when we come back. We're going to be putting together 1,200 in-home water filters for the people of Puerto Rico. So thanks for your support.
That's awesome. Thank you, John and Mark. We have an update on Santa Claus. Is Diane here? Zing? No? Okay, she will have to update us next week. Mary Alice, an update on the picnic.
I'm going to send around a sign-up sheet for the sign-up for the picnic on the 7th, which is our social for the first part of September. I think there's going to be another one the last half. I have it divided up by food groups for you to sign up for what potluck dish you'd like to bring. And so please don't add any more lines under those unless they're all full. The ones above, all of them are full. Then you can add lines underneath there. But otherwise, we'll end up with 400 bags of potato chips and nothing else to eat. So anyway, we'll pass this around. Please make sure it gets around, so don't let it get stuck someplace.
No, we just have a big potato chip festival. And then last we have Randy Ernest on journals today.
Sure. Today's journal project. Diana Y, Mary Alice Jackson, and John Barry are joining me. We will leave shortly after meeting. Head over there. Thanks, guys.
Does anyone else have any business? Deb?
Of course, I'm eating. But is anybody here interested? The Salvation Army got in touch with me. And Gordon and I have done this for the past number of years. But is anybody interested in ringing bells at King Soopers, Parker, and Arapahoe? We've got plenty of dates that are wide open. It's really, really fun. It's not that cold. So is anybody interested? Okay. I will send out an email that just says when dates are available. A lot of times Mark and I will do it Christmas Eve, and it's really, really fun to do it Christmas Eve. So I know that works into a lot of people's schedules that they can't do it, but if you can, early in the afternoon, it's really fun that day. So I'll get that sent out.
Perfect. Any other business? All right. So we have travel gifts. Any travel gifts from anyone? No? No one's been traveling? Right, we have Happy Bucks. Doug?
What about the business minute?
Oh, Business Minute. Yes, I'm sorry. Business minute. Thank you. Oh, Doug, go ahead and sit down. Ann still needs to do her business minute.
I get the business minute. I also was urged to tell you that on the back of your bulletin is a
something for everyone.
I'm up. Just within the last 2 weeks, I came across something. As most of you should know, I am a cruise specialist, and so I get information from the various cruise lines. Princess happens to be the first one we went on, and it was great, and it's still one of my favorites. And they are going to do a mass vow renewal February 9th, which means it goes over Valentine's. And since we have people who have been well married for many years, I thought I'd bring it to your attention. This is going to be on the Regal Princess, which is a fairly new, big, beautiful ship. And apparently there are going to be guest appearances from the original Love Boat. I know Gavin McLeod is going to be there. So give me a call or stop me, and we will talk about it further. It's going to the Western Caribbean, which I didn't catch all of the ports, but it's usually Cozumel, Grand Cayman, that kind of thing, and I think you'll enjoy that. So come in. Well, they're trying to make a world record for the number of people renewing their vows. I was thinking we would go, but we just booked a tour around Turkey for March, so I don't think we're making that. But like I said, give me a call and we will talk about it, and maybe you could just surprise your spouse.
Thank you, Ann. And I did also miss the Rotary Minute. Eric, do you have that for us?
Yeah, good morning. I've always just watched everybody do the Rotary Minute, so I kind of, trying to do due diligence to the history and went back into the archives, and I think most clubs call it the Rotary Moment. And it's that time in your Rotary career when you kind of figure out why you're a Rotarian. I joined the Rotary Club almost as an obligation. I married into a Rotary family. And, service above self was never, ever far from my life anyway. I served in the military for 26 years. And in the Civil Air Patrol, I commanded the cadet squadron in Parker, Colorado for a couple of years. And I put 3 of my cadets into the Air Force Academy at that time frame, as well as just about every graduating senior either went into ROTC or they went into some sort of military career. So sort of paying it forward there. When I tried to start figuring out when my Rotary moment was going to be, is as I travel the world and I join these other clubs, and I'm just trying to see where we can fit in. It doesn't always necessarily work. It's almost not always like fitting a round peg into a square hole, but it doesn't always quite fit. However, I figured out when my Rotary moment was not too long ago. As we developed a relationship as a Rotary Club, and as I developed a personal relationship with Mayor Pico, her son Connor is graduating from CSU this year with a degree in engineering, and he's looking for a job, and he's a real sharp kid, very motivated, very focused. And so I was like, okay, these are the kind of kids that we would love to have in my company, Sierra Nevada Corporation. So I worked really hard to get him in the door. He had to do the rest of the work himself, and to begin with, he was denied his internship. He applied and was denied. And I was like, well, let's just try it again. We'll try it again this summer, and lo and behold, he was hired. He did so well in his internship that after he graduates this year, that he is going to become a full-time employee. So I kind of figured out that was my Rotary moment, is just, the relationships that we build, the friendships that we make, and can it be beneficial to somebody when you're not actually, trying really hard to do it? It just kind of happens. Thanks.
Thank you, Eric. It's always a very good reminder. We all have that moment. Well, hopefully we've all had that moment. If you haven't yet, Scott, you will soon.
Us seniors have them all the time.
Those are different moments, different kinds of moments. All right, so now, as long as I didn't miss anything else, no? Okay. Doug, if you want to go ahead and do Happy Bucks, thank you.
This is really it. You're not kidding, okay?
Yes, this is it.
Really, for sure. Oh, got anybody happy over here?
I just have a buck for, it doesn't feel like it, but it's football season, and it's the CU-CSU game this weekend, so go Buffs.
Go Buffs! Oh, there must be a lot of happiness over here. John?
Morning, just happy that Water Rico is right around the corner.
Okay, Paul?
Yes, can I have an IOU piece? I'm going to give $53 to honor my wife and our 53rd anniversary.
Thank you. John, you're not happy about anything? Not happy about being retired? Oh, my goodness. How about over here? Who's happy? All right.
Well, this isn't my happy buck, but if you haven't checked out Mayor Pye's socks, you got to do it. He's sporting a little fashion back there. Anyway, I actually have an apology buck from the Hoffs to John Bellum. We were at a 5K on Sunday, and it wasn't our best. We were discombobulated in many different ways, and all of a sudden, this person's like, "Hey, how are you?" And we're like, "Who are you?" And so apology to us for not being more Rotarian family relational. But we survived and, yeah, went home and died running along the Cherry Creek Dam at about, I think it was like 85 degrees by that point in time. 95 in the morning. So, but anyway, our apology for missing out on John. It was good to see you.
That's what I get for not saving your seats.
Okay, exactly. Even now.
Any more happiness here? Tom?
I have two for our guests that are going to be speaking today. It's just nice to meet Lisa and Jessica. Welcome.
All right. Any more happiness here? Here's some happiness.
I have $2 as well for our guests. If you can't tell the resemblance, this is my sister. So I'm excited for her to be here and Lisa to be here as well. So thank you. And guys, you got to do my races. I had one on Sunday. Come on. Support Rotarians.
All right. Some happiness over here? All right.
I have three. The first one is happiness to Water Rico. So excited that it's coming together and you're actually going to be going. I'm hoping to see lots of photos. And the second one is for the Red Tail Hawk Inclusive Park. Tim and Karen and I went on Saturday, and it was, of course, I cried, of course, when the mother of the little boy talked about his wish to have a park that he could play in with other kids. And I hope all of you got to go out on the website and see some of the pictures that Karen took of the kids playing on the equipment. And anyway, the Aurora Rotary Club spearheaded the whole thing. They originally pledged $100,000 as matching money to get a grant from Arapahoe Open Space. They got $450,000 from Arapahoe Open Space, and they raised $246,000 between various foundations, Rotary clubs, et cetera. So it was a really proud moment. Rotary was mentioned over and over and over again. So it was a really cool effort. And then the last one, what? Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it reached, at least at this point, 846 people. I think it's one of the records on Facebook. Yeah. So Also, we leave on Thursday. My daughter and I are going to Flushing Meadows to see U.S. Open tennis tournament. And we've been planning this for a year, so it's coming up. We're so excited. And we picked our theme song for the trip, which is Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
All right, Mary Alice.
This is a sneaky way to get in a plug for prime timers. Tomorrow night is our happy hour at Papado's at 4 o'clock. So if you are free and want to come have fun, join us.
All right, Karen.
I have two. One is to welcome Rob to our club. Welcome. Look forward to getting to know you better and get involved. Second was also for the Red Tail Hawk Park opening. It was really, really neat to see. There were so many kids there, disabled kids and kids in wheelchairs and things. Just all of the things that they have for them to do. And Ashan, who was the kid who kind of spearheaded this wish, he was a victim of child abuse when he was 2 years old. He was a very healthy kid until grandfather shaken baby syndrome. But there's a picture inside the bulletin of a little boy going down the slide, and that's him. He was so happy to go down that slide. You can't see in the picture, but he was just so excited to go down that slide. It was just really, really cool. And the other picture where they have the ribbon opening, this bridge, this blue bridge thing, it's musical. And as you go under it, it plays different music. It's really cool. So you should go and check out the park. It's really neat.
John.
I've got one. I'm waiting for confirmation, but it looks like Lucho is in the country. He and his family are going to California and are kind of hit all the spots that he did on his trip at the end of his year. And all going to plan, he should be in the Denver area from the 9th to the 13th. And I'm still trying to get coordinated and figure out what we're going to do. Oh, for you newbies, Lucio was our exchange student 2 years ago from Italy. Greatest kid in the world.
Yes. Thank you.
And my happy buck is just to thank you for inviting me into the club, and I'm really looking forward to get going.
Thank you. Any more happiness here? Nope. How about this table? Got a happy John.
This is supposed to cover thanks for showing up here and our new member.
Anyone else here? Oh, our visitor.
Well, good morning, everyone. Greetings from Roswell, Georgia. The Roswell Rotary Club is in District 6900, and we are about a week and a half away from our 41st annual Aubrey Greenway golf tournament. That's coupled with the Hagen Cup tennis tournament, and we typically raise about $200,000 through that tournament for where we support 30 different charities in the Atlanta area. So if you are in Atlanta the week after Labor Day and are looking to hang out with some Rotarians, please see me and we can get you directions. But we're really excited that the team's been working hard for that, and good to be a part of Rotary.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody? Oh, this table. Big spenders, all right. Deb.
I guess I'm happy. We had training with John and Mark.
Which John?
Mr. P. And I'm not sure if I'm really excited to go to Puerto Rico because a hurricane is heading for it. But, despite that, these two guys, I'm not sure who's funnier. But they really don't have a clue what they're doing, so it's going to be a real experience to go down to Puerto Rico and figure out what's going on. But I think we'll have a good time.
right. One first for Rob. Congratulations, welcome to the club, and he has been very good with signing up for duties. I love these new members; they're great. Good job. Yeah, and the second one, it's back at the Hoffs because I did sneak up on him. We were in it was a race for. We have a good friend who was going through sarcoma, which I didn't know anything about, but it's not a good thing. Okay, there's a lot of OMAs that are tolerable. This OMA is not good. And so we did a race for it, and I raced only so I could get back into the shade because it was on that dam, and it was so hot. And then the smell of the lake coming up off there in the midway through the dam. But this guy, I mean, he was doing his stretches, stuff like that, and then boom, just took off like a rocket. Catherine blew past me like you wouldn't believe, and I'm just like, holy cow. So anyhow, it was nice to see you folks, and next time I'll save your seats.
Well, I have one for Puerto Rico. When they first announced this last year, I thought, yes, because I haven't gone to any kind of other than... That's all I have to say. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Other than the convention a couple years ago. So I thought, and I like to travel, of course. If you're a travel agent, you better like to travel. So I'm looking forward to it, and maybe living through a hurricane. I don't know. It's going to be in Florida by the time we get there. The second is for Roxy. When I leave, someone has to do the bulletin, and I usually call on Mary Alice, but since she's done it so often, I decided to find someone else, and Roxy pitched in. I'm going to be gone 3 times in the next month and a half, and Roxy's got it. Thank you.
Jay.
Well, I have 2. One is, really happy family dinner on lunch with our son and daughter when they both are in town. So it's really nice to get together before our daughter hit back to school in Pittsburgh. And 2 is that, my daughter took the car to California, one of our cars to California. That's why I couldn't be here as often in the past. But now we have that car back, so I should be here more often.
I just have one, and it's for all of you guys. It's great to be here on Tuesdays, and for those of us that have been in Rotary many years, it's kind of easy to forget how many good things happen in Rotary. So just a reminder to pat yourselves in the back. It's awesome, all the projects that you guys are doing, that we are doing.
Do it again. And I put in $2, one for Puerto Rico, especially for John, and one for our new member. It's always great to see membership grow.
Awesome. And I have an IOU for 3, and one is for our guests, another one is for our new member, and one is an apology book for missing yesterday, and thanks to Tim for stepping up. And I figured last week, see, I'm still apparently not all here. So last week, and just am thankful for all the texts and emails of getting well. So I appreciate it very much. So moving into our presentation, Tom, do you want to go ahead and introduce our speakers now?
Absolutely, be happy to. So we have guest speakers this morning from CCIRA, and they're going to explain what that means. But it's informing, inspiring, and innovating literacy in Colorado. So Jessica is the president, and she brought with her Lisa Kahn, her associate, and they're going to be speaking to us this morning. So welcome.
And CCIRA, Tom was asking me what the acronym
International Reading Association switched over to the International Literacy Association, and we're not a part of them anymore. We're our own entity, so now we're just an acronym. But we're informing, inspiring, and innovating literacy in Colorado. So I'm going to tell you more about CCIRA, but I wanted to tell you about myself first. I actually got involved with Rotary a couple years ago, and I recognized some of you doing the beer sales, so I look a lot more professional than I did. But that was really fun. Sarah and Eric have been talking about Rotary, and I said, I think this would be a great platform to talk more about CCIRA because of our connection with literacy and your connection with literacy as well. My journey with CCIRA began when I was about 5 years old. I started volunteering for CCIRA. I was very, very ambitious. Started stuffing packets for the conference because my mother was the conference chair and then the president. And as I grew and developed, I got to put on costumes for our family literacy night. And then when I became a teacher, I became more involved in the professional level of CCIRA. CCIRA has really made me into the educator I am today. I learned far more from them and their professional development than I ever did in my college classes. So, you know, as you all know, you kind of start getting involved and you just start saying yes and you keep saying yes and then you end up the president of the organization. So the history of CCIRA. CCIRA started in the fall of 1965. And there were 5 people that met at CSU and decided they wanted to charter a Colorado organization connected with the International Reading Association. So 15 members chartered it. It was brought in to IRA and they wrote bylaws and policies. And then the next year they started a conference. The conference chair donated $1,000 of his own money to start the conference. They had 400 people that attended that first conference and then 80 members joined. And we have been growing for 54 years. This is our mission. We collaboratively encourage, support advances of literacy through research-based instructional practices to increase literacy access to all. And our vision, we want all people to be empowered to critically engage in our changing world by developing and utilizing literacy skills throughout life. And how we do that is we're improving literacy instruction throughout diverse populations. We want to encourage lifelong habits of literacy for all of our students. We want to support our local councils and our individual members to promote and advance literacy. We want to recognize and honor significant contributions in literacy. We want to be a respected and viable voice. We've worked with the Department of Education to help promote some literacy laws that have been passed and to guide them in some literacy decisions. And we also are working to advocate for policies that support best practice of all learners. So CCIRA is a literacy organization in Colorado. We have about 1,400 active members. And our structure is we are all volunteered except Lisa. So Lisa's our only paid person. She's our administrative assistant. We have our executive committee that really guides the organization. Then our local council presidents are our board of directors, and we meet 3 times a year to vote on policies and our bylaws and make decisions about the organization. We also have state committees that guide our organization. We have grant committees. We have a foreign affiliate committee that really does work abroad. We've done a lot of work in South Africa. And then we have our consolidated members. Our local councils are spread throughout. We have 18 local councils right now spread throughout Colorado. And they're really our outreach to reach those teachers in all areas of the state. Our local councils have meetings, and we have a talent bank of different professionals that speak throughout Colorado, and we get them for free. So our local councils would have a meeting, teachers would go, and they would get free professional development. The other thing our local councils do are host family literacy nights. And so really making that connection with those families. And they also do community service. So our Colorado Springs Council did a books and blanket drive and then donated that to the local women's shelters. So we're really trying to reach as many areas of the state as we can. We also provide different resources to our members. So we have our Colorado Communicator. That's our monthly newsletter, just keeping members updated about grants and awards they can apply for, our business dealings, and then also some professional development. We have a podcast that we have nationally known speakers that have spoken on the podcast that people can listen to for professional development. And our CCIRA blog comes out at least twice a month, if not more. Practitioners, educators, different experts write for our CCIRA blog. We last year gave out over $29,000 in grants to our members. Teachers Writer and Teachers Reader really encourages teachers to become learners. So reading professional books and talking about them, becoming writers, and then also talking about how they can use that in their classroom. Our Thelma Pett grant supports educators that are going back for different degrees, so more education. Equity, diversity, technology, and new literacy, so getting technology into the classroom, but connecting that with literacy. So it's not just, we're just buying a bunch of computers, but how can you lift literacy through technology? We also have our family literacy grant that I talked about, so local councils can apply for that, and then they take it to their schools, and their schools put on a family literacy night event. So we're pulling on all the teachers in the school, we're pulling in families, and really educating families about good literacy practices, fun things they can do at home, but it also builds that community of learners. We also gave out over $7,000 in awards last year. We award principals for excellent literacy practices, schools for good literacy practices, and teachers. We really want to highlight those people so that then other people can come see their classrooms, to come see their schools and connect so they can learn from each other. We also have the Fannie Sebena Award, and it's for somebody who's had a lot of contributions to CCIRA throughout the years. Our two really cool awards are our CCBA and our Blue Spruce Award, and these are actually driven by children. So the top one, the CCBA, elementary schools get to vote on books that they would like to be promoted for this award. And then they get the top 10 nominees, and then schools, mostly librarians, but maybe teachers too, read all of those books to the kids, and then the kids vote on their favorite book. And so the Legend of the Rock, Paper, Scissors and the Narwhal book won last year. Our Young Adult Book Award is for middle and high school, same thing. The students nominate their top 10 to 15 books, and then they vote on it, and they voted on The Hate U Give this year. Sometimes we have those authors come to our conference and present, and we'll have children present the award to those authors. We also have a scholarship fund that Rotary has participated in before so that we can send different teachers to our conference. And Phyllis Adams was one of our presidents. So we have an annual conference, and it's been going for 53 years. We have about 1,600 attendees at our conference. These are some of the past logos. We're nationally known. We're one of the best literacy conferences in the nation, and we have literacy experts that come and tell us, this is the best conference that I've been to. So we are really reaching a lot of people. We actually had some people from the Northern Mariana Islands. It's right off the Philippines. We had 11 people come there this year. So that's pretty amazing. We have people from different states. We have people that come from Canada, and then a lot of local people as well. And really the point of the conference is to professionally develop teachers so they can take those strategies and skills back to the classroom. So if you think about it, we have about 1,600 educators. If they just reach 20 students, that's over 30,000 students that are impacted by our conference every year. I think that number will be bigger because there are coaches like me that go to the conference and then bring back information from the teachers, and so then you're affecting a whole school. And research shows that over and over again, the single most influential factor in student learning is a classroom teacher. So this is a picture of our conference and our conference attendees. It's really exciting, the energy that teachers bring. We have it in February, and they say they're super energized, they're super appreciative, they're so thankful for our conference. So these were just a couple props from our Twitter feed about the conference. And we had Gary Brooks this year. I don't know if any of you see him on YouTube, but he's a principal in Kentucky, but he's also a comedian, so he came. And we had 600 teachers attend his luncheon, which is huge because the luncheon's actually an extra cost. So the fact that teachers are willing to spend their own money to come and learn, take their own time off, is pretty amazing. Our connection to Rotary, I know that literacy is one of your focuses, so that's why I've been asking Sarah if I could come and present, because I think we're pretty aligned with wanting to support education, and especially the focus in literacy in Colorado, but then also abroad. So why literacy in 2019? Somebody said to me the other day, well, don't kids know how to read? Why is this a focus? I mean, we're in 2019. And my father even said, don't we know how to teach kids how to read? And I said, well, we do, but our students are ever evolving. Our society's changing. You have information coming at you in all different ways. And students are coming from different backgrounds. So we always have to change and adjust. What worked 50 years ago does not work for every kid now. So CCIRA is really working to evolve and educate teachers on how to teach different students. And then I think about the digital literacy. We have to teach kids to not just take in all this information, but analyze it. If you Google something, you can't just expect that's the right answer. If you look at Wikipedia, that's not always the truth. And so we have to look and see, how can we help kids be critical consumers? And the International Literacy Organization put this out, the benefits of literacy. We have less poverty, lower mortality rates, stronger economics, more community involvement, improved personal well-being. So really, when we're teaching teachers how to teach kids, we're lifting up our whole society, and that's why literacy education is still important. It's not just reading and writing, it's learning how to communicate with each other. It involves math, it involves science, engineering, technology, all of that. So literacy really is the basis for our society. And CCIRA, we really believe that it is so important to help teachers understand how to educate our learners of today. So we're really trying to make a difference to educators, schools, and students around Colorado and beyond. Any questions? Yes?
Well, two questions, really. Microphone. Oh, sorry. Two questions. One is, do you serve eastern Colorado? Because on your map, I didn't see anything in eastern Colorado.
We do. We do some outreach there. They come to our conference. So we really try to support, especially through those conference scholarships. And we're trying to build our councils. We had more councils, and then membership waned. So we're working on southern Colorado, western Colorado, and then yes, we would like to reach out to eastern Colorado as well.
Part two, how do you serve internationally? How do you do that?
So we have a foreign affiliate committee, and they make connections. We've done a lot of work in South Africa. So we did a clothing and book drive, school supply drive, and we have people that actually work in South Africa, and so we've supplied schools there. We've had exchange programs where South African teachers have come over here and presented at our conference, and then we have people that go to South Africa. In the past, we've had exchange programs with Australia, New Zealand, different areas there. Yeah.
So I just saw a story this weekend on CBS Sunday Morning about dyslexia. Do you guys work on any programs for dyslexia?
Yes, so dyslexia is really the new hot topic, and there's a lot of legislation coming up with dyslexia. We have at our conference this year a couple of speakers, and last year too, about dyslexia. So we really want to support teachers. We don't have, this is how you teach reading. There's a lot of different ways, so we provide professional development. With that, we had a Northern Regional Conference, and so they had some presentations on dyslexia. They actually do a dyslexia simulation that I went through, and it's very interesting because you experience how it is that child to be a learner. And so one of the simulations was that you had headphones with music, and you're trying to listen to the teacher's directions, but you're super distracted by the music, and then you can't pay attention. So that's an up-and-coming thing that we will be addressing more and more. Yes?
Do you have any programs to assist teachers that are working with refugee children and trying to bring them online?
Oh, yeah. So English as a second language, yeah. So we don't do specific refugee, but we absolutely have English as a second language. We have that whole strand at our conference. We have different guest speakers. We've had some people on the blog and on our podcast talk about that too. That really is another huge topic that we're working on with teachers.
You mentioned that you're working overseas. Are you teaching English?
We're not really teaching. We have some teachers that go over there and do like a 2-week internship. So sometimes they're teaching English. It's just a variety of, it's what their purpose is and what they need.
Yes, I wanted to ask, as you're working towards supporting literacy, do you see any changes in how college professors are teaching these educators as they get their degrees? Because that's one thing. I was in education for over 25 years, and that's one of the biggest struggles we had.
Yes.
And you're shaking your head. So what do you think?
We have an early career network committee, and that's headed by a couple of professors at UNC that are doing amazing work. And so we're trying to build that connection really to bring in those college students, but also form partnerships throughout the different colleges, kind of to demonstrate what UNC is doing. I know Metro's doing some things, so yes, absolutely, education for those college professors as well.
So how has it changed with like texting and email communication? My mom pulled an article out about how to prepare your kids for college, and one of the things a college professor said is teaching them how to email appropriately as opposed to hey or the texting language. And how much of our language has been challenged because we've sort of dumbed it down to texting and email communication.
Yes. Well, that's part of the standards, is that communication piece, so speaking, listening. How do you speak appropriately? How do you listen appropriately? But then the 21st century standards is that communication piece. So how do you communicate with different stakeholders? So you're not going to talk to your teacher the way you talk to your friend. And so that's built in, and different teachers handle it different ways. And I think it's especially like middle high school, because 5th graders are just starting to text, but they don't really email their teachers yet. So really teaching those kids how to do that, and that's kind of our technology or our digital literacy. We have different strands throughout our conference that talk about that, so that might be embedded with it.
It was going to be a short question. Now I'm going to make it a long question because I have a microphone in my hand. Maybe you said this, but where did you teach, or where do you currently teach?
Oh, I didn't say that. So I started teaching in Omaha, Nebraska. I actually went to Creighton University. I grew up here. I am a native, but I went to Creighton University.
We'll still accept you.
Yeah. I taught in Omaha, Nebraska for 4 years, and then I took 1 year off because I knew I wanted to move back to Colorado, but I was finishing my master's, and so I worked in an autistic program part-time, and then I moved back here. I taught for 5 more years in Douglas County, and I got my principal license, and then I moved to Littleton Public Schools. I'm an instructional coach, and I've been there for 9 years. At Ralph Moody Elementary.
What school did you teach at? And did you teach in OPS or?
Yes, Lothrop. Any other questions? Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Don't go away just yet. We have a few things for you. Well, let me present the book plate. So we do support a local library, children's library. So what we do is for the book, we put in book plates to honor our guests, our guest speakers. So here's an example of what we'll be putting in for you. And then we have another job for you. This is our blue marble drawing.
This one.
This one. Last three numbers. Okay, 554. Deb, oh. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's that. After all, you don't have 10 ones. David does, or is it wrong? Now I know. You could figure that out. All right. Collective groan.
Oh, that's just too bad. Great. Thank you. So you could all stand for the four-way test. For all we think, say, and do.
Is it true? Is it fair to all concerns? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
Nobody signed up for takedown, so maybe as a group we just all take one.